Welcome to Talking with Tatchell. 60 years ago, the people of Baluchistan briefly won their independence. They won it in 1947. The following year, in 1948, they were occupied by Pakistan and have remained occupied and oppressed ever since. But defiant and determined, they are still struggling for their freedom. We are witnessing an increasing movement within Baluchistan to secure their right to self-determination, and in response, increasing repression by the Pakistani authorities. With me to discuss this ongoing battle to secure a free and independent Baluchistan is Mehran Baluch, the representative of Baluchistan at the United Nations Human Rights Council. Welcome, Mehran.
Thank you.
I'd like to start by asking you, where is Baluchistan, for those who don't know?
Baluchistan is the southwest of Pakistan. It's got 1,400 kilometers of coastline to the Arabian Sea. It's 48% of the landmass of Pakistan, the southwest of it. And it is a part of Afghanistan and Iran as well. So it's one big chunk towards the Arabian Sea, is Baluchistan as a whole.
And how many people live in the total territory of Baluchistan?
The entire territory of what we call the Greater Baluchistan is probably about 15 million. There are no exact figures, but the Pakistan part of Baluchistan is about 10 to 11 million.
So the vast majority of Baluch people live in what is now Pakistan.
Pakistan-occupied Baluchistan, yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit about the situation there right now in terms of the increasing repression by the Pakistani state?
Yeah, I'll just go a bit in the background. In 1948, when we were forcibly annexed and occupied by the Pakistani military, since then we have suffered 5 military operations by Pakistan Army, and the latest one is started in the year 2000, and it has been an ongoing military operation denied by the Pakistani government internationally. It has taken thousands of lives, and hundreds of people have disappeared since. And I have presented the case of those people in the United Nations Human Rights Commission, or presently Human Rights Council. But on the whole, the situation is very grim. The total casualties since occupation would amount to about over 20,000.
And do the Baluch people regard themselves as a nation?
Yes, Baluch people regard themselves as a nation, and Baluchistan is a nation. It has no common factor with Pakistan. But when we talk about Pakistan, we have to be very careful how we present or how we look at Pakistan. Pakistan altogether is an amalgamation of 4 different nations: Punjab, Sindh, Frontier, and Baluchistan. But at present, the nation which is ruling and suppressing the other nations is the Punjabi nation. So Punjab is actually camouflaging itself under this false figure of Pakistan. They are the majority in Pakistan. Their rule, the army is predominantly Punjabi. The federal government is predominantly controlled by the Punjabis. The 3 other nations, in particular Sindh and Baluchistan, are being looted and plundered by the Punjabi nation for the benefit of the Punjabi nation. So we have to be very careful when we say Pakistan. It's 4 different nations artificially put together on the name of religion, or under the name of religion. And it's basically surviving on the survival of the country depends on fundamentalism, and how much they can scare the West.
So in many ways, the problems faced by the Baluch people in securing their sort of independence, it all revolves or boils down to the colonial era and the way the colonial authorities drew the maps and created these entities.
Yes, and now because of the neo-colonial rule of the Punjabi in the region, that is our present problem.
I mean, are the Baluch people calling for self-government or independence, or what precisely is their prime objective?
The prime objective, there are diverse opinions in Baluchistan, but the prime objective of every Baluch, I would believe, is to live as equal citizens in dignity and with pride, in a Baluchistan or in a Pakistan, but to have equal rights and to live as a dignified citizen. That is the prime objective. But there are organizations, there are groups, there are nationalists who believe that it is our natural right to have independence because we were occupied. If something is done wrong, if an occupation goes a certain length of time, it does not justify that occupation. One should reinstate or one should aspire for the legal status of a sovereign independent nation of Baluchistan.
Which it was briefly in 1947-48.
Yes, for 9 months we were an independent nation until we were forcibly annexed by the Punjabi army.
And in terms of the struggle for independence, or even just the basic principle of self-determination, the right for there to be a proper plebiscite so that the people of Baluchistan can make their own choices. What is the sort of main priority in your point of view? Is it are these groups wanting autonomy, self-government, independence? What's their main motivation?
If taking the median or the average of all the wants of the people or different groups, it would boil down to right to self-determination. But they are from independence to equal rights. So if you took the mean, it would be the right to self-determination.
And this is not something that is broadly supported or endorsed by the international community?
International community, unfortunately, is either unaware of it or absolutely not interested in it. Aware and not interested. My aim as the representative in the Human Rights Commission in the Council is to highlight the issues of suppression, subjugation, and human rights violations by the Pakistani government, plus to address the question of our legal